Hello, Internet. Welcome to College Concepts. My name is Tyler Cuddeback. Thank you for joining us today. I am the founder of Let's Go to College Educational Consultants and the host of the How Do I Get That Job podcast. Today's going to be a little bit different. I know last week I kind of went on a rant. I actually planned this video for last week before that whole news story kind of just broke my brain. So you may have noticed that RMU, Robert Morris University, was behind me in the last video, and they're going to be behind me today as well, just because I didn't give them the shout out that they deserve. If you saw in episode 6 of Let's Play to College, I was talking about how I got to tour the Rise Center, the nursing center at RMU. It's an amazing place. Here's some pictures. I'm just going to throw those up here. Thank you so much to RMU and to the Rise Center. I really hope that I can get Jan, who was my tour guide for that portion, the Rise Center portion of my tour, to come on to the podcast and talk about what she does for the Rise Center. That's going to be a really cool episode, so look forward to that. And yeah, so this video is going to be me talking to a group from the Boys and Girls Club here in Shadyside in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. None of the kids are in the video, but you might hear some of the questions that they ask. At one point, the camera does kind of zoom out after like 15 minutes or so. So I don't know what happened there. All right, on with the show. Again, just to introduce myself, my name's Tyler Cuddeback. I'm the founder of Let's Go to College Educational Consultants. I'm also a host of a podcast called How Do I Get That Job? So if you guys are curious about different types of jobs that are around there, whether it's science, technology, leadership, management, whatever it happens to be, there's all sorts of different stuff on there for you to listen to. So I want to keep with the theme of financials and sticking with that. So I want to talk to you guys about financial aid, scholarships, and getting into college for either cheap or free. So if you open up your folders, you'll see two big handouts here. So one looks like this with all the colors and the logos and stuff, and then this is a checklist over here. So the big shiny one kind of just talks about what an educational consultant is. Like I said, if you feel like you're not getting enough help in high school, we can help you out. It also has some info like FastWeb. So if you're talking about scholarships, FastWeb is like the best thing that you can do because it is a search engine for scholarships. So just give you an example. My cousin right now is 17 years old. She's a junior. She's about to become a senior. And over Thanksgiving and Christmas, we sat down and I helped her make her FastWeb account. Now, she's not going to get all of these scholarships, but these are the scholarships she qualifies for. It matches the degree she's looking for, the school she's looking at, the interests that she has, athletics, her gender, ethnicity, where she's coming from, all these different things. She's looking at about $333,000 in scholarships. You can pay for college about 3 or 4 times over with that amount of money. So it really does help you if you go on FastWeb and check that out. It'll help you a lot get all of the money that you need for school. Now, there's a lot of extra money than just tuition. You know, when you call a college or you go visit a college and they say, oh, we're $35,000. Okay, that's cool. Usually that means they're like $22,000 for their school and then $13,000 on top of that for room, board, fees, all that stuff. Room basically means your dorm room where you're staying on campus. Board means the food that you're going to eat while you're on campus. And then fees. So they charge you all kinds of different types of fees. So the library, if you want to print stuff while you're there, which you're probably going to have to for classes and stuff. There's so many different parking, all that stuff. Scholarships, especially the ones that you get through FastWeb, can be used to pay for all of that stuff. So do you need textbooks? Scholarships can pay for that. Actually, I used a FastWeb scholarship when I was in school, so I was already in college. So these are good for 7th grade all the way through you're about to graduate from college. So definitely check them out. And some of them are these big, prestigious, Fulbright, Rhodes Scholar kind of stuff that you hear famous people and rich people getting. And then there's other scholarships that are small scholarships that help pay for the little stuff. I needed to pay for a new book for school. It was $250, and I didn't have the money. And I needed it in order to take this class. There was a scholarship from a chapstick company called Kiss Sticks, and they wanted to know the story of my first kiss. 250 words, $250, and I had to sign some waiver basically saying, like, I give you the rights to use this story however you want. They turned it into a commercial, right? So there's all kinds of different scholarships for you. And they help pay for everything. You need a new laptop for school, scholarships can help you pay for that. You want to go and get a car for school so you don't have to live on campus and you can commute back and forth because you're close enough to Pitt. Scholarships can be used for that. You can use scholarships for gas money. You can use them for tuition, obviously, room, board, the fees that the school has. But scholarships are basically checks that get cut to you and put into your bank account or your parents' bank account until you're old enough to use it yourself. So definitely check out FastWeb. Now there's another type of scholarship that you guys can use, and it's called institutional scholarships. Those come to you directly from the college that you apply to. So say you apply to 5 different schools, and each of them say they're going to give you 10 grand a year. Don't expect to get 50 grand every single year. It's only to that one school that you decide you want to go to. So you'll be getting 10 grand from them, and that's usually based on your merit. So that's your GPA and your SAT and ACT scores. So I think you guys are in high school, right? You are? You're not? No? I'm sensing 7th, 8th, 9th grade over here. Yeah? 6th? Okay. 7th, yeah. Okay. So right now, your grades, they matter because they can help you get into some accelerated classes when you get into high school. But the thing that really matters is that freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year of grades. That's really important because as somebody that used to work in colleges, I worked for Pitt, I worked for University of Delaware, I worked for Lebanon Valley College, and Elmira College, which is where I graduated from school. It's my alma mater. The number one thing they look at is your GPA and your grades and the classes that you took. A lot of people have a rough transition from middle school to high school. So from 8th grade to 9th grade, when you get into high school, your grades tend to drop a little bit. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It'll hurt your GPA, but as long as in sophomore, junior, senior year, you pull it together, you get better grades, you get into more rigorous classes, harder classes, then you'll be fine. You'll be all right. And having a GPA of like 3.0 or above is going to help you get scholarships. Also, make sure that you take the SAT and the ACT because they're very different tests. The SAT is for somebody that's good at like English and history and what we in the college sector call humanities, while the ACT is good for people that are in the STEM field, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics. If you are kind of more science-brained, take the ACT because that actually has an entire science component in it that goes into your overall composite grade. A lot of other schools will also do what's called a super score. So if you take the SAT or the ACT multiple times, they'll give you the best score from each section. So each test has a reading, they have a writing, they have a math, and if it's the ACT, it has a science. They'll take, well, you took the SAT twice, and you did really good on the reading on this one, but not so good on the math, and the next test you did really well in the math, but not good on the reading. They'll take those 2 highest scores and make one score for you. Your GPA and your SAT and ACT scores will determine how you get those scholarships, how high your scholarship is, what it is, and where it's coming from. So definitely make sure that you're doing well in your classes because it can help you pay for school in the long run. Now, if you pull out the other sheet, this is a little checklist. Take this home to your parents. Some of you that are already in high school, you might want to start checking off these boxes. If you haven't started working on it already, for the rest of you guys, start thinking about this because this is going to be really important for you. In 9th grade, you should start thinking about getting at least one extracurricular activity. That's what we call it in the college world. Extracurricular activity basically means You're on a sports team, you have a club, you do this kind of stuff here with Boys and Girls Club, especially if you volunteer and work here. That can be a great extracurricular for you. Even if you have a job, you're working nights, weekends, holidays, over the summer, something like that. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for, you can still put it down as an extracurricular. So if you only work during the summer, that's fine. That's still an extracurricular. Still put it down. We want to see that kind of stuff on the college side. Then the next thing on the checklist is visit one small size school. There's 3 main categories in terms of sizes for colleges. So you have small, which is like 100 students, to like 4,000, give or take. In the local area, you've got schools like La Roche, Pitt Greensburg, St. Vincent College, basically anything that's like within the 2,000 student range. Then you have mid-sized schools, which is at like 4,000 to 10,000 students. And you're looking at like Duquesne, Robert Morris, those kinds of schools, at least in the local area, Slippery Rock, if you want to go a little farther north. And then the large schools, so that's 10,000 plus. I've been talking for way too long, so I want to get you guys to guess something. What is the largest college or university in the U.S.? It has the most students. What is it? Yeah. Not Duke. I'll give you a hint. It's in Pennsylvania. Not Pitt. Who said it? Penn State. Penn State College has 63,000 students on campus. If you count all of their satellite campuses, like North Allegheny and Braddock, and then all the ones they have out east and in the center of the state, they have 96,000 students. That's like a whole city. If you want to talk about the largest single college campus, it's Arizona State University, 86,000 students. It literally is its own city. It has a Target, a Walmart, a mall. It has housing developments for the professors. Everyone lives there. It's crazy. It literally is its own city. Yeah. So if you want to be in that kind of world, check out a large school. That's going to be like 10,000 students plus. Like I said, it goes all the way up to 96 if you count Penn State. So you're in the area, you're looking at Pitt, CMU. Even if you want to go down south, you're looking at like West Virginia University, those kinds of places. Basically anything that has a football team and is on television is going to be a big school. Then going down the checklist, FastWeb and CapEx. So I talked about FastWeb before, so I'll jump over that. CapEx is very similar. But the cool thing about CapEx is they kind of have like a little scholarship lottery. Every single week, they give out a $1,000 scholarship to anybody that has an account. So if you just make an account, you get put in this lottery system, and they refresh it every year so they're not giving old scholarships to people that are like 35 and signed up when the website was first made. Your grades are really important. They're the most important thing that we look at. The second most important thing is going to be your SAT and ACT scores. But then we have what's called a holistic view. Come on in, grab a seat. There you go. So the holistic view means that we want to see everything about you. We want to see where you're coming from, what kind of kid you are. Did you do well in school or did you struggle, and why did you struggle? What else do you have going on in your life? Some people have to deal with, my parents are sick and I got to take care of them. Some people have little siblings that they have to look after. Some people have anything. Life happens. So we want to take that into consideration in the college admissions process too. So extracurriculars can help show where your time went and the things that you value. Then the other things that we're going to look at in the application is going to be like your essay. So they usually have like a 500-word plus essay that they want you to make talking about who you are and what you value. And then there's some other stuff that they have on the back end. Each college kind of does that last component differently depending on who they are. So get another extracurricular. Then you want to talk about going and taking the PSAT, which is the Preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Test. Basically, it's the SAT that you take as a practice. Take it, figure out how well you're going to do when you actually take the SAT. When I first took the PSAT, I had like a 1040. So I knew, hey, I needed to work on my grades. I needed to work and study and actually get my score up so that when I applied to colleges, I could get more money and scholarships. And it's not free. It has a fee. It changes each year. It's anywhere between like $35 and $75 to take the test. But it gives you a really good indication of how well you're going to do on the SAT. And that's the test that matters. Then visit a mid-sized school just so that you're getting some experience between small, mid, and large. Sometimes you go to a high school that has like 4,000, 5,000 kids. That's a big high school. And you think, hey, I want to go to a smaller place where I actually know the people I'm talking to. And sometimes you want to stick with what you know, and vice versa. You could go to a small school and be like, hey, I need to go experience the actual world. Instead of having to deal with the same people I see every single day over and over and over and over again. So, the only way that you're going to know which one you want is by actually stepping foot on these campuses and finding out for yourself. Apply to scholarships. Like I said, you can start applying to scholarships from 7th grade all the way until you're about to graduate from college. So start looking at them, especially in 10th grade. Start applying to scholarships because that's checks that go into your bank account or your parents' bank account to help you pay for school so you don't have to pay for it later. And then start taking SAT and ACT practice tests. I gave some stuff here like Khan Academy, YouTube, College Board, ACT Inc. All these places have free resources for you to take practice SATs so you don't have to worry about paying for those tests later on or having to take them over and over again because you didn't do well. You can actually improve your grades over time just by trying and practicing. 11th grade, register for the SAT and ACT. I think I've mentioned that test enough times now that you guys realize it's important. You need to take it in order to go to school. There are a lot of colleges that are moving towards test optional, basically meaning that if you do really bad on the SAT, you don't have to submit it, or you don't even have to take it at all. But at the end of the day, if you want scholarships, going back to that financial component that we're talking about here, they're gonna request your SAT and ACT scores. You can get in, but they're not going to give you money to go there without that test. Then visit a large school. Like I said, just get exposure, apply to some more scholarships, and then start talking to your guidance counselor about the application fee waiver. If you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you probably can apply to college for free. If you have a single-parent household and make under a certain amount of money, you can probably apply for college for free. Your guidance counselor is going to know that situation and all those rules better than I do or better than you do. So ask them. They'll be able to help you out. And while you're there, also start talking to them about some of the prerequisites that you're going to need for classes. Prerequisites basically means classes that you have to take in order to take other classes. So say you want to go into engineering or business. You're probably going to need pre-calc in high school. It's just a fact. You're going to need pre-calc if you want to go into those majors at any selective school. Make sure that you're taking it. It's your junior year. You may not have taken it yet. You still have the senior year to take it. Then going into your senior year, you want to submit applications to about 10 different schools. And if you can get fee waivers so that you don't have to pay for all those applications, that's even better. Because you want to do like 2 safety schools, basically CCAC schools you know you can get into. Then you also want to talk about reach schools. You want to apply to Harvard? You want to be that kid that got out of your neighborhood and go to Harvard? Apply. You never know. You could get in. Your grades could be good enough. You could have a cool enough story that you could supply some kind of value to their campus that they're not getting from some of the other applicants. Try. You may not get in. Don't expect to get in. That's why it's called a reach school. You're reaching for the stars there. But it's worth a shot. And then you also want to apply to some schools that they have the same GPA and SAT requirements that I actually have. Apply to those 2 because those are going to be the ones that you're going to get into. Is that a hand? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm basically done. Like I said, the last thing I do want to talk about is the Fafsa. So that's the free application for federal student aid. Yeah, take it with you. Go for it. The free application for federal student aid, that is the way that you get scholarships, financial aid. You can walk in front of the camera. That's fine. That's the way that you get scholarships, grants, and loans from the federal government. So if you've ever heard of Pell Grants or Stafford loans or just financial aid in general, that's probably where you're getting it from. unless it's a scholarship that you got from some other source, you're probably getting it through the Fafsa. So make sure that you have your parents fill that out. They can do it anytime between October 1st and February 15th. They're going to need their taxes from the year before. And then graduate. You can't go to college if you didn't graduate from high school. So focus on doing that. Make sure that you don't get too much senioritis and, fail your classes and can't graduate or anything like that. We do pay attention to your senior year grades, even though you've already applied in like August before school even starts. We still will look at that for you because we want to make sure that you aren't slacking off and that you are maintaining your senior year. So it's really important that you keep those grades up your senior year. Before I get out of the way and let Davis do his thing, do you guys have any questions for me? Yeah.
If you average like high honor roll through 5th to 8th grade, would that like help with college at all?
So it doesn't help with college in the terms of us looking at those transcripts and those grades, but what it will help with is getting you into higher level classes in high school. So if you're already in honor roll, if you're already in honors classes, when you get into high school, they're probably going to put you in like honors English or honors history, whatever you happen to be good at. And then that extra rigor, that higher level class, will look really good for you on your application. Anybody else? No? Bueller? Yeah.
It's pretty understandable, so I would understand why you don't have any questions.
I mean, I tried to break it down as easy as I could, but there's always going to be questions. I mean, people are always confused about this process, even if it is kind of easy. That's kind of why I got into this. I am a first-generation student. None of my parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anybody like that had ever gone to college. I was the first kid in my family to go to college. I come from a single-parent household. My dad left when I was young, and my mom had to do everything she could, and we were kind of broke. So I had to pay for loans and grants and scholarships and everything like that. So the reason that I got into admissions is to help people figure out how am I going to pay for this and how am I going to get in and where do I want to go. So if you guys do end up having any questions you don't want to ask in front of the rest of the group or anything like that, my contact info's in there. There's a business card in the folder. There's also a little coupon in the bottom left pocket for my website. So for anybody that actually comes to any of my workshops, you do get a discount on any of my services. So I have everything from helping you plan a campus tour to actually working with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for an entire year and everything in between. So if you need help or you want more questions answered, check that out. Check out my YouTube channel and my podcast because I post things on there. So it's free information for you that you can look at any time. And then the last thing that I want to say is thank you. Thank you to Davis, thank you to the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you to you guys for being so respectful. I can't tell you how many times that I've worked as a college admissions officer going into a college, had 40 plus people sign up because they want to go to Pitt or they want to go to University of Delaware. And like they're supposed to be showing interest and that they care. And then I get there and I'm trying to talk to people and they're just loud and disruptive. It's craziness. So I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, then please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell notification to join the notification squad so you never miss any of our videos. We put out videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday covering a wide variety of topics revolving around the college admissions and job search processes. If you like this video more than a share and subscription can show, then check out our merch store. The link is in the description below. The proceeds from our merch store allows Let's Go to College to provide free and at-cost college and career help to low-income, first-generation, and at-risk students. We really appreciate your support, and so do the students.